What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now today, we're back with the great man, Cricket Raz, once again. It's actually been like a month or two since we've actually checked out any of his videos. So firstly, original link in the description. Go check out, go show some love to the great man over there. He's got some of the best content on YouTube right now. Hey, we've got that match through the eyes of the players, an eye for an eye. Now, this is obviously talking about India v England when Freddie Flintoff, took off his shirt. I'm assuming that's what it's about. The thumbnail did suggest that, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Hey, if you guys are new, subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below. Help the boy out, push towards 10K. Let's get into it. Let's go. Come on.
First part. England came back from a 3-1 deficit. Flintoff humiliated his rival in front of his people and then celebrated it by running across the Wankhede Stadium, waving his shirt in the air. In time though, people would forget about this moment, this humiliation.
Hey, now, okay, last pause of the video, by the way, last pause, but probably one of my all-time favourite England players. I don't have many of them, but it would have to be the man Freddie Flintoff. I'm not going to lie to you, though, this sort of moment, he kind of did pushed some barriers. Doing that at Wankhede Stadium, you've got to have some big fucking balls to do that. I mean, you're lucky the fans didn't run on the field and absolutely, stomp you in. Man.
Write it off as just another loss. All of them, except one person, one captain, refused to
Damn, okay, this quality can go to 4K.
let this go.
Okay.
Etching this moment.
We're watching in
deep
4K.
into his heart. This is the story of what happened next. If anybody has not seen the first part of the series, I would highly recommend that you go and watch that first. It tells the story of the bad blood between Dada and Flintoff.
Wait, hold on a minute. I think I did watch this, right? Yeah, no, I definitely did watch that. I think I've reacted to it somewhere on the channel. Geez, I hope so. Anyways, I'm going to keep reacting to this one, so
before last
doesn't
match
matter.
happened. But
doesn't
for now,
matter.
Starting from this series, the entire Indian team's form seemed to have taken a nosedive. A team that just a few months back had managed to defeat South Africa in South Africa was now even failing to defeat Zimbabwe at home.
Damn, I think I might have been
136
playing that day.
from Dada himself to somehow eke out a victory. So, for all intent and purposes, it seemed as if that loss had damaged the confidence of this team. And now, Dada would have about 3 months to stitch it back up, cause that's when the NetWest series was about to start. A tri-nation series between India, England and Sri Lanka to be played in England. Dada's team would have to be ready by then, cause that's where he would have his revenge. With this in mind, the team departed for West Indies. When in the next 2 months, they would go on to create history. They won the first ever ODI series victory.
Get back! What are you doing? Get back!
The hero, Dada. Not only was he the top scorer, but such was his furiosity that he seemed to have willed his team to victory here. The problem was, so had the opposition. They first went on to draw a series in New Zealand, followed by nearly whitewashing Sri Lanka at home. The upcoming NetWest series was going to be a spectacle. 2 teams, one vying for revenge, the other for domination. This series was gonna be epic, and you could tell right from the first match. England would sail to an easy victory against Sri Lanka, mostly due to the man of the match Flintoff's blistering half-century, followed by 3-wicket haul. An amazing start that would be stopped right in its tracks. Dravid and Yuvraj would build a 131-run partnership to win the second match. The host would get a bloodied nose in the very first encounter. India had made it clear.
Shot.
They were here to settle scores.
My type of shot.
Started an
Shot.
undefeated run for India in the tournament.
Woo! Out of here!
Was all of them had come after losing the toss and chasing. When India's record while chasing till that point was a record of everything that could go wrong in a cricket match. So this Indian run was being hailed as a historic shift in Indian team's mindset and toughness. Here is the thing though. In spite of not losing once till the last part of the group stage, when they were about to face England in a dress rehearsal for the final, they were still not the bookies' favourite to win. The reason? By this time, this Indian team had earned the reputation of being chokers.
What a shot.
From 1999 to 2002, India had reached the finals of 9 multi-nation tournaments.
Jeez.
Each and every time, failing spectacularly. And now, even in the dress rehearsals for the finals, they decided to stay true to their reputation.
Yeah.
In a rain-limited 32 overs match, a half century by Flintoff gave a required run rate of 7.5 to win.
Yeah,
It still looked achievable till Dada got out.
No. Oh, they ran into each other.
Felt like a repeat telecast
No.
of
Oh, brother, that is a bad look right there. Oh, no. Oh, no.
to win, which still looked achievable
Yo,
till Dada
it's crazy that you could see this was going to happen from the middle that they both took off, that they were going to run into each other. Like,
got out.
someone make a fucking B-turn and move out of the way. Move out of the way. Oh, no.
And then
Oh, brother, that is just so hard to watch. Go back. Oh, no.
which still looked
Who is it, the
achievable
non-strikers
till
end? I can't see the number, it's a bit too blurry, but whoever was at the non-strikers end, they had to go around. They had to go around.
got out.
Like, if you're him, you've just got to make a little turn around. Instead, you've just fucking ran straight into him and lost the game.
And then, in what felt like a repeat telecast of Wankhed's
That
match,
is sad.
everybody followed. A team that had seen 9 undefeatable till now collapsed
The Muhammad
like a
Cave?
pack of cards. The final score, 165 all out. And as if that was not bad enough, came the news. Kumble and Sachin were injured. A
Really?
final that was supposed to be the clash of titans. It was now shaping up to be a one-sided massacre.
Yeah.
And the Indian players could feel it too. Just before the start of the match, you could taste the nervousness in the room. The coach John Wright, himself trying to hide his shaking hands, was trying to calm his players down. Don't bother about the big finals at Lords. Just stick to the game plan.
Why was he
And
shaking?
fight, he said. A good advice that mostly fell on deaf ears. The morale was down. They needed a miracle. And it came. Just before the start of the match, Sachin and Kumble had passed their fitness test.
Yeah,
They weren't at their
okay.
100%, but fit enough to play.
Yep.
And somehow, with this, the wind suddenly seemed to have shifted. In spite of losing the toss again and having to chase again, the mood didn't dampen. Because on the pitch, the English openers that had demolished them in the last few matches were having a difficult time against them.
Oh,
Edges going past
good
left
ball.
snakes being just out of reach. A breakthrough seemed just around the corner. But when it came,
Oh, Harbhajan?
everybody started wishing that it hadn't. Cause in walked Nasir Hussain.
Oh, no.
Throughout the series, his captaincy, his number 3 position had been questioned due to his lack of form. And last week's paper even had a scathing article written about him by past English players. So, Nasir was angry. And it showed. He, along with Russ Cottage, went on to create a 185-run partnership.
Jeez.
Both of them scoring centuries in the process.
Ugh.
Dada would try to employ 7 different bowlers in
Shot.
order to break the partnership.
God damn.
All to no avail. And finally, when the pair would fall and India would see a glimmer of hope, it would be quickly stamped on by a belligerent Flintoff. At halftime, the scoreboard would read 325 for 5. Now this score may not seem like much today, but at the time, in ODI
That's a
cricket's
lot.
31-year-long history,
That was a lot.
score about 300 had been chased a grand total of 7 times. And now to do so on a foreign ground, with
Jeez.
the reputation of choking, nobody had any hopes of India winning this match. The entire dressing room was a scene of hunched back and drooping shoulders.
Man.
Everybody was convinced of the upcoming defeat.
Is that Kohli?
Everybody except Dada.
Yay!
Sitting in a
Yes.
corner. Not nervous, not down, just angry. He refused to talk to the coach. Even Lakshman's advice to be cautious, start slow, save wickets, all of
What are you
it
doing, Laxman?
fell on deaf ears. They needed 6.5 runs to win.
Yeah.
He would do what he had to do.
Yeah.
And so began the
Hey,
rampage.
and let's not go past the fact that they were wearing one of the greatest Indian kits of all time as well. You guys know I'm a big kit man over here. We love to check out the kit that each team are wearing. This is one of India's very, very best kits right here as well. The sky blue, the colours, the tricolours across the front. It's pretty hot. Let's be real. It's pretty hot. It's a
Ball
good
after
kick to
ball,
do it in.
boundary after boundary.
Shot!
Dada pummeled his way to a
Hey.
35 ball half century. His opening partnership with Sehwag took India to 106 in just 14.3 overs.
Sheesh.
That's 220 required from 213 balls.
They're moving quickly.
What was impossible before now just looked improbable.
Now they're the
But
faves.
then, say it with me, Dada got out.
Dada
And
got
so
out?
followed the rest of the team.
Oh.
By the time Tendulkar got out
Ah.
at 146 for 5, that was the end. The match was over. There was nothing left to see. The coach John Wright could be seen in the dressing room, sitting in a corner, mumbling to himself. Sachin and Dravid would go for their post-game massages, away from the massacre that was to follow. And Dada, he would sit in a corner, refusing to look up. He would later go on to say that even he believed at that point they had lost. But that's the thing about people. When we seem to have reached low enough, somehow there is no place to go but up. With zero hopes of actually winning the match, the pressure finally lifted, and slowly the entire team got up and decided to watch the youngsters have fun. The youngsters being the under 19 World Cup winning captain and player combo, Kef and Yuvraj. Now maybe the dressing room would have been even more relaxed if they knew what Yuvraj knew. Trescott's first ball had clipped his hand. His little finger was now completely fractured.
Damn.
The 21-year-old was having a hard time even holding on to the bat, while the 22-year-old on the other end, who had joined this team just 5 months back, was now being sledged by the entire English team, who kept on calling him the Indian team's bus driver. So, by any measure of the yard,
Bro, that has got to be the shittest sledge I've ever heard. How are you going to call someone a bus driver? Like, what the
entire
fuck?
English team.
He's out there playing. Bro, I mean, English have got to be the worst sledges of all time. Like, they just sound goofy when they sledge. They're like, hey, the bloody bus driver, eh? Like, come on, man. How am I meant to take that serious when you sound like that?
Who kept on calling him the Indian team's bus driver.
No.
So, by any measure of the yardstick, this match was gone. It was just a matter of time now. And so, the dressing room sat down and decided to enjoy the show. And they saw, while going quieter and quieter, because somehow the two youngsters had turned the tide for him.
Hey,
Starting
Yuvi.
from just singles and doubles, taking advantage of the fielding mistakes,
Shot.
they had slowly and gradually brought the target down.
Fetch,
Even though
little
the
boy,
required
fetch.
rate was now about 8. The scoreboard had not
I'll
stopped
get back for
ticking
2.
once. And hence,
Where's the
you had
non-striker?
Harsha Bhogle sitting in the commentary box asking, are we on to something here? A sentiment that was now resonating in the dressing room. Sachin quickly declared, nobody is moving from their spots. Our positions have worked till now, so everybody stay exactly where you are. That meant people would watch this match, standing in the doorways, sitting in the toilets, even Dravid and Sachin being marooned on the massage table for the rest of the match.
Really? Getting a
As
happy ending at the end?
entire dressing
Nice,
room
cool.
turned into statues,
That was
the
fun.
pitch would have the youngsters burst into action. The
Hey.
ones and twos had now given way to
Shot!
4s and 6s. Starting from Yuvraj hitting 2 for a 4 in the 37th,
Woo!
followed by hitting Flintoff for 3 consecutive 4s next.
Yes, sir.
Kef too, seemingly
Kef?
emboldened by Yuvraj,
I'm
would soon
Kef.
follow suit.
Shot!
Over by over.
Down the ground, baby!
The run rate would be brought down.
Woo!
Till finally, we needed
Oh, that's a shot,
59
baby.
runs in 51 balls. But then, in what seemed like a scripted movement,
Drop.
Yuvraj was caught out. And suddenly, people actually realized India's situation. The rest of the lineup read Bhaji, Kumble, Zahir and Nehra.
Damn.
Meaning, for
Wait,
all
wait, Ashish Nehra can bat? Get the man Nehra out there. Come on, he can swing it.
intent and purposes, this match would come down to Kef. Even veteran batsmen would have felt the enormity of the moment. He could make history here. The radio broadcast blared. Kef should play steadily here, save his wicket.
Go,
In response
bus
to
driver.
which, Kef would stand still and hit the ball for a 6.
Woo!
Kef
Shot!
didn't like looking at the scoreboard. Nor did he care much about
Nice shot
pacing.
again!
He would play his own game. Consequences be damned.
That's a
And
simple
this attitude would soon pay dividends. As ball after ball would be hit out of the ground, the required run rate would take a steep dive. By the 47th over, we only needed 14 runs in 18 balls.
Okay.
The match seemed in the bag, and right on cue, in walked the one person who seemed to have a knack of squashing Indian dreams.
Yeah, Freddie.
Who had the most motivation of stopping this Indian victory. After all, he had just managed to get his revenge. No way would he just get beaten up again.
No.
Yep, the ball went to Flintoff, who within the span of 3 balls took out both Bhajji and Kumble.
No!
Kev would later go on to say that at that moment, he truly believed that they were gonna lose. In spite of only needing 11 runs of 12 balls.
Man.
He was convinced of their loss. Because all they had were 2 wickets left.
Yeah.
With the last over guaranteed to be in the hands of him. So, as the first 5 balls of the second last over would go for 5 runs,
Oh, shot!
Kev, rather than going off strike on the last ball, decided to go for a wild heave, which went to a completely different direction for a 4. The whole stadium went crazy.
Hey!
We had won. We only needed 2
Yeah!
runs to win. But then the reality
Woo!
set in. That 4 meant that now Zaheer Khan would have to face the last
Come on,
over
Zaheer.
while facing him. In one KD, 6
Come on,
runs
Fredo.
back,
I mean, no,
Badani
no,
batting
no,
on
don't go,
27
Fredo.
had to just watch in shock and horror as Kumble and Shrikant had been taken out
Oh!
in front of himself. And now, another last over with the same number of wickets left and a bowler at strike. It truly felt like deja vu. And so, as millions of fans bit their nails in nervousness,
Is it Zaheer?
came the first ball. Zaheer walked down the
Yeah.
pitch to try to take
Oh!
a run and he sent
Oh, get back!
surrounded by the
Oh!
entire English team on the onside. He is nervous.
Get back!
Everybody can tell. Flintoff walks in close to him and stares him down.
Oh, what a
before
weirdo.
turning back. The next ball veers off to the leg side with the whole team going up in appeal,
Yo.
which is turned down.
Yo, I mean, look, hey, we love Zaheer Khan over here, but let's talk about this batting form. Let's be real. This is like some
Here's off
under
to the
12
left
stuff right here. I mean, if anything goes at his pad, he's out LB.
Side,
Like
with the
he's just trying to dap it onto the leg side and just get a quick
whole
single.
team going up in
Oh.
appeal, which is turned down.
That was
Tata
risky.
Can be seen in the Lord's balcony, one leg above the railing, clutching onto the amulets around his neck,
Yeah.
seemingly praying to each and every god that may be willing to listen. Please, please, let it be different this time. Something was about to happen on the next ball. Everybody could feel it. And the die was cast. Zaheer taps the ball and runs for dear life. Kev has long since left the crease. Ball is thrown, Kev dives, and a misfield.
Oh,
As a
and
fist
get
shot
back for
front
2!
Hunches down in devastation. He misses the fact that Dada, standing on the balcony, is looking straight at him.
Yeah.
Straight at him, waiting for him to look up. Look up and see an Indian captain waving his shirt in the air. Now,
That
it
is
would
too
make
priceless.
complete sense for the story to end here, right? The bowler that had danced across our lords now stood distraught in his. Poetic and fitting end. But what most have forgotten about this series is that it didn't actually end here. In this India's tour to England, the net first series was to be followed by a 4-match test series. And the fact that a foreign captain had stood shirtless at their lords, it had the entire English team frothing at their mouth,
Yeah.
looking for a chance for revenge. What had started off as a revenge story of one man had now become a revenge story for the entire team.
Yeah.
The Indians had been humiliated at home, then the English in theirs.
Woo!
The scores were actually level till this point. The test series to come would be the decider.
Who won?
And oh, what a decider it was to be.
Who won?
So do catch the last part of the series.
Oh, okay, so that will be the last part of the series. I'm looking forward to that one by the great man Cricket Raz. Hey, he has got the best I don't know why it says that I'm not subscribed, but I definitely am because I get notifications when he uploads, so that doesn't make sense there. But hey, man, it's just great content over here, and he just tells the stories like we're watching a Netflix documentary, and that's what I love about this man's channel. Go show him some love if you haven't. Drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Hey, this is one of the most special moments. Obviously, 2002. I mean, I was born in 2002, so it's not like, you know, I was watching it live. But, you know, I mean, I've heard about this game, these particular moments with Freddie taking his shirt off, and then, you know, the revenge at Lords. I've heard about it, but never really gone in depth with a video like this. So, hey, big ups. I hope we all enjoyed, and I'll see everyone in the next one.